Well, hey folks, it's Fist-25 and we're going to do a video I normally don't like to do, but I feel like I need to give my opinion on the 3.14 PTU patch that is out right now. And I want to go over the new ship HUD and the new, I guess the way they have nerfed ballistics and buffed lasers, and just kind of go over that a little bit and give my thoughts. So we're going to do this on an Anvil Heartseeker Super Hornet, which I've put CF337s on the wings and on the nose. And then up top, I have the Remnant size 4. So we're gonna go with that. We have a three size 3 lasers all fixed and a size 4 Gatling that's on a gimbal, but we're gonna fix that forward. I feel like I've seen a lot of videos about the HUDs and all the new stuff going on. So I have the music playing, and I'm not going to play my own music in the background here. We'll just go with Star Citizen's music. I don't really turn that off. Yeah, let's fire up the ship. There's a lot of really good things about 3.14. Well, I don't know a lot, but there are some good things about 3.14. There's just, I don't know. So far, it hasn't been my cup of tea. And maybe that's because they need to tweak some more stuff or something like that. But let's get out of here. Let's at least fly around the patch. Today's the 14th of July. The patch, there's a new patch, the I patch just dropped like 2 hours ago. So I wasn't actually able to get on a US server. I had to get on a European server. So if there's a little lag or delays or anything like that, that's why. What is up with the exhaust cone that it cuts out flat like that? That's really weird. You guys see that? Where it's like you would imagine it to kind of be football shaped on the red, but what if I do burner? It just extends it. So, I am a fan of the boost system with the capacitor gameplay. Okay. Let me go ahead and get my altitude or my pitch ladder here up a little higher. And we'll go over this as we fly out of atmosphere at New Babbage. Now when you hit boost, over here on the right side of the HUD here, you're going to see a boost meter. You see it? And that is solely dependent on energy. But you see, I'm actually using boost, and I'm not using anything at all because my ship's at 432 speed. I'm using boost and nothing's happening. I don't like that. I wish there was some intelligence there. Now, if I go ahead and up my speed to, like, say max, right? I'm climbing speed, and then I hit boost, you'll notice it significantly goes faster, right? Until I hit max speed. But I can still use boost. It's really weird. I'll actually go ahead and hit max speed. As I use the boost, right now I can still actually use it because it hasn't gone down below that red line. But if I use it and it goes below the red line, I can't use it again until it gets above the red line. So I'm going to hit it right now. Nothing's happening. I'm still holding it. It's recharging, and I'll let go and hit it again, and it keeps draining. So, as most of you no doubt know, that the power triangle here is completely how you recharge everything. So, if you look at our boost, we're at 50, we're at 60 right now, right? Let's yank our triangle all the way down to thrusters. Look how much faster that boost is charging up. Like way faster. And even if I use it, right, like that's down to 90, it does its delay and it's going to recharge really fast because all my energy is going into boost. Less recharge into shields, less recharge into weapons. Now, if you look at the weapons right here, it tells you my Panther repeaters and my Revenant. These are essentially ammo counts. And I know a lot of you have already known this, but I feel like there are some people out there who just don't know. The Panthers here, the lasers, they basically now have an ammo count. And this ammo count will change depending on how much energy you set to your ammo, right? So if I take my triangle here and I move it all the way to weapons, I'm going to go ahead and hit my boost and watch. It's at 95 and it's not recharging. So there's no more energy being put into it. However, this ammo count for the weapons should be going up. Did they change that again? I think maybe it's just the recharge time now. Before, like last patch, when you upped the energy, the ammo count actually went up, but I think now they've changed it to just affect the recharge time. So let's go ahead and drain the lasers. Notice how they fire much faster now. Okay, they're drained. Wow, that was amazingly fast. Let's count that. From a full drain, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, not even 3 seconds. And it was all the way back up. Let's do it from a even load of 33% across everything, right? You see my thrust, my boost just came back up. Oh, they did change the ammo counts. Okay, so now when I go back to even, it's at 31 shots instead of 37. I thought, well, maybe I was going crazy there. Let's shoot all the lasers and see how long it takes to come back after the regen, after the delay. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. So two more seconds, and that's I guess that's your standard right here. As I shoot now, I'm gonna hit my other fire button. You notice lasers came out, but my Revenant is also tied to that. While that laser recharges, this Revenant does not. There's only 225 bullets in there, and that's it. It doesn't come back. What I recommend you should do is go to your weapons page here. You go to your guns, and in the case where I have ballistics and lasers, I guess energy weapons, you group your energy weapons together. So I'm going to put my other Panther repeater on group 0 and keep my Revenant at group 1. That way I can shoot all of my energy weapons together and they'll all recharge together. That little ballistics low, ballistics, that sound has to go. One, it's not ballistics, it's lasers. And I know they're using the same mechanic, but it just needs to be a chime. And I would also like a chime to when they're fully charged, because even moving my eyes from center to here takes me off of my target. I just want to hear it. That's why I have more than one sense. Okay. So that's a new thing. Now we have cleared the planetary atmosphere. You might have noticed when we were still at New Babbage, we actually had an altimeter over here where our pitch ladder is. And we actually had our pitch ladder on each side of our HUD to when we were in atmosphere to let us know what angle we were headed to and basically the attitude of the aircraft as an artificial horizon, basically. Instead of that, now we're in space where everything's three-dimensional. There's still a pitch ladder here. But it's not like it is on the planet. It's basically it's not a fully three-dimensional type of attitude indicator. It is really just, it's more like a heading. It's an elevation against, I believe, the planetary plane. So if I'm at 0, and notice up top here as well, up here you actually have a heading indicator now. I don't necessarily know what it's in reference to. I heard the planetary plane. Let's try to go 0, 0. It's definitely not the sun, right? So the star is Stanton star is not right there. So maybe this is against how the plane works on the nearest planet. I don't know. I know when you're in space, you don't actually have cardinal directions, but when you're on a planet, you will have cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. So, but you should be able to know. You should know that based on the heading and the bearing as well. We'll get more into weapons in a little bit. What else is new on the HUD? Well, we just talked about the pitch ladder over here. This guy down here is our G-force indicator, and you can see our TVI right here. It's kind of coming back to true as it fades in. Let's jump out. You see, this is our thrust vector. The way the aircraft is actually moving. And if you look at the G meter there, it kind of see, we just lost all those G's because we matched the nose of our aircraft with our true heading, really. But it's kind of just like a graph, and it gives you lateral, like how many lateral G's you have, right? And in what direction it is. As I come back towards my thrust vector, it'll all go to see it's going the other way because we're actually moving forward. But if I go up and down, it actually gives me where I'm experiencing those G's. Not that it's a big deal. It's kind of a cool little meter to have, though. Now over here, this guy is another indicator of where we're actually thrusting to. So we moved laterally to the right, and let me stop moving. And you see our TBI coming back there. You can actually kind of see it. It represents that white dot here, and it's moving towards the aircraft, which is this little orange dot. And it kind of shows us with this red circle here which way we're moving. And then it's going to start to fade out, and we're going to true ourselves up, and you see the G's stopped. So you can kind of use, look how pixelated this radar is. This is horrible looking. Compared to the MFDs that look actually fairly decent, even though they're not building blocks, this looks garbage. But those two indicators would help, especially if you turn off ESP and G-Safe and all that stuff, and you're using... I guess if you're an advanced pilot. What else do we have on the HUD? We have a new velocity system here. I actually don't like it. I know it's fairly standard to like aircraft that we have modern day, but my max speed of this Super Hornet is 1227 meters a second. I don't want to see anything above that. Right? Like, I don't want to see 1300. I want to see the max. And that's it, because that's the maximum I can go. Now, that's not a big deal. That's just kind of a want. It's not a need. But I don't know. This makes me think when I see 1300 that I can go faster. Right? But I can't. Even with boost, which I should be able to because I'm boosting, I can't go faster. This little caret is our cruise control. If I hit C, it goes away, right? And our speed starts to fall, as you can see through this meter right here. And this thrust is actually our retro thrust because it's coming up. This is the thruster power. As you see, this red box is where my speed is set to with my mouse wheel. This caret is actually falling through of what our speed actually is. And just like the old versions of this indicator, it's bigger from about halfway to SCM speed, where the red line and the green line meet is your actual SCM speed. So if I change it to SCM, it moves my red box right in the middle. And let's say the top speed's 1227. Well, I hit 1200, like, I'm sorry, I'll hit like 1,000 right here-ish. And then, well, maybe here. And then from here to here is like 200. But from here at SEM all the way up to here, it's more, right? So let me go up to this mark right there. And it's the same way it worked on the other one. I'm going to hit C. We're going to watch. Okay, now I'm at 500. Mouse click up once. That's 50 meters a second. Again, the higher you go up, like the more fine tuning it gets, but it's not the same interval as it is going down to SCM. Just like the old one. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but like if you give us this bar, maybe you should change the way that works and maybe make it even intervals. Having these little hash marks here, I almost wish they were fixed. And we had 0 down at the bottom, and we had the max speed at the top, like kind of like it was. And then we moved our little bar here up to SCM or wherever we want, but we knew this was max speed instead of having a rolling ticker like this. This makes sense for a pitch ladder, and it makes sense for headings, but it just doesn't make sense to me for speed. I just don't like it. Also, because this color red here is above SEM, I think this box and these indicators should be different colors. Again, I don't want to look going away from my target when I'm fighting and look over here to see where my speed's at. Because when I'm staring straight ahead, my peripheral, I can't tell the color differences that much. So even if I go up to here, can't really see it. Now if this guy was white or something like that, or even an orange, I'd be able to kind of differentiate in the red and the orange where those differences are. That would make it a little bit easier for me. What else with the new HUD? You have your hydraulic and your quantum fuel indicators here. Your hydraulic, your hydrogen and your quantum fuel indicators over here. These are, I like this. It's very simple and it's nice, but I would like to have the option or make it mandatory. I would either way to have the true numbers displayed. I don't like, I can see right here my hydrogen. I've used a little bit of it. It's my quantum I know is at 100 because I haven't used quantum. So my hydrogen is probably somewhere like 95 at hydrogen. That'd be nice to have that number, just like the old HUD, or at least give me segments, right? Like a 100's the top, then 75, 50, 25, or even every 10, 20, 30, 40, something like that. So I could know, be like, man, it's going to, I only got 15% hydrogen left. I'm not going to be able to make that mission without refueling, Same with quantum fuel. Give me more indicators, right? And I don't think that clutters anything. It's just that helps. And I think there should be an option to turn on the exact percentile or the exact actual number, or both. This lock indicator talks about how your weapons are locked. So if I hit G for gimbal, I go into auto mode where my revenant will be tied. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. Where my auto is auto gimbal. So my targeting, my revenant will follow my cursor around, right? If I hit G again to lock, everything converges forward. If I hit G again, it autos, and so my revenant will auto gimbal and try to auto lock the target, and I'll end up with 2 pips. So I like having it in lock mode. Unless everything is gimbaled, I keep it in lock mode. If there are no gimbals on the ship, it is in lock mode, period. So if I have, let me rephrase that in case I messed that up, I probably did. If I have everything on the ship gimbaled, I put it in auto mode to where it's 1 pip and it uses the auto gimbal function. If it's any other combination other than everything everything gimbaled, I keep it in locked mode. I don't ever keep it in target mode unless I'm just messing around. I like locked mode. Also down here, you can barely see it, but it says decoy and noise. So if I launch off a decoy, which should be H, you see that goes down. If I launch off a noise, should be J, that goes down. So basically flare and chaff, guys. Just like before, nothing's new here. It just looks different. Again, this is our thruster here. Over here is coupled ESP and our gear. So if I hit N, you'll see our landing gear light flashes and our gear comes down. If I hit N again, our gear comes up. Just like anything else. I'm not going to go over ESP because I don't want people turning off ESP, but coupled mode, that used to be the Victor key, the V key, right? But when you hit V now, you're in scanning mode. That is a change that was not part of the patch notes, by the way. They changed the keybind on that. So if you hit V again, I'll leave scanning mode, but I believe it's Control C. Is it Control C or Alt C? Alt C. So if you hit Alt and C, you will take off your coupled mode. And if you hit Alt C again, it comes back on. So if you don't know what coupled is, it's basically where if you're decoupling your engine and you will keep traveling in the direction you are normally traveling in, but you can turn the ship. So like say I'm going forward, I decouple. The ship will keep going in that direction, but I can turn the nose of the ship and fire my weapons essentially behind me, and I'll keep moving away from the target, if that makes sense. So it's kind of an advanced flight tactic. Most people don't use it because, to be honest, it's hard enough to keep your nose on target sometimes. What everybody, and especially me and Jawa, were wondering, what the heck is all this stuff up here? Well, this is basically your emissions up here. And I have turned the numbers on. So there is the tech and the option to turn your numbers on. Excuse me. This guy over here on the left with the wavy lines, that's your heat. This is the IR signature I have right now. So if I go down to my, this is my heat menu. My heat, it's weird. My heat says 268.6. Wait, sorry. My IR says 6768. And it's matching this number. So that is my infrared I'm putting out. Now, if I try to suppress my overall infrared, that goes down and this guy went down. Okay, so that still works. I don't know if it works to other ships, but it definitely works for as far as indications. The middle thing here with these sideways, greater than, less than, with the diamond sign, this is your cross section. I think, let me see, if I hit landing gear, will it change?
Landing gear deployed.
It should have changed, but it didn't change. So this is the default cross section of the Super Hornet. And even as I turn the ship, that number should be fixed. It should never really change. And then, I mean, maybe there's some ships that drastically have things move that it'll change. And this guy over here, the lightning bolt, that's my electromagnetic or EM signature, which is really high because I have my loadout of components in here is my standard loadout in 3.14 anyway. And so it's 11,000, which is really high. So people are going to see me coming from pretty far away. Whether they're in, looking at electromagnetic or heat or whatever. I would definitely show up further away with electromagnetic scanning. Okay, so those are the basic elements of the new HUD, and it's different. I'm not against it. I just think it's really, I've been using the same HUD forever, right? So I think it's a matter of getting used to it. I do wish they would change some of the colors over here on the thrust side. I wish I had numbers or tick marks or something on hydrogen and quantum fuel. I wish that noise and decoy were a little bit brighter so I could see. Not that I don't know, but I wish I didn't have to zoom in to see that. That's way too faint. Now, the power triangle. As you can see, we're dead even right now. They have keys for this. And you can set up your joysticks to this too. But right now everything is balanced, and that's the F8 key. It balances everything. So if I hit F5, notice it gave a tick over to my weapons. And my weapon, let me bring it back down to normal. If you look at my weapon, my laser or my energy weapon capacity, basically my ammo, it's at 31. If I increase the power from 33% to 50%, which I just did, I get 2 more bullets per laser. That's not significant. If I increase it again from 50 to 67%, I got 1 more bullet. If I go from 67 to 83%, I got 2 more bullets. And if I max it out where all my energy is going over to the repeaters, I get 1 more bullet. And I only get 6 more in total by giving up all my energy to that. I don't see how with an upgraded power plant, I don't have more energy in reserve. I think everything should be tied to the components that you have in there. If you can't afford a top tier power plant, then you're going to have lower ammo capacity. I also don't necessarily think ballistic capacity should be tied to the gun. And I'll get into that in a second, but that's kind of a rant I had on Spectrum earlier. So I'm going to hit F8. It's going to look at my power indicator. It's going to bring everything back down to even. If I boost up if I hit F6, it'll give me more power to thrusters, right? We did that earlier. If I hit F7, it'll give me more power to my shields. Now, you cannot harden your shields anymore. So if I hit the 8 key on the number pad, I can't harden any type of shield. Basically, what it'll do is as my shields drain, they will recharge faster with the more energy I put into them. So basically, I've been right now going into dogfights, hitting F5 once and F7 once, boosting up my shields, boosting up my shield regen, basically, and my weapon regen, thereby taking away power from my boost. Which I think is an okay strategy, because let's say I make a turn and I boost to go catch somebody, but it's still going to recharge. It's going to recharge slow, but I have quite a bit of boost. I'm kind of in reserve, right? So I can do a lot of maneuvers here. That was 2 seconds of sustained boost, which is probably the most I'm going to use to make a turn. And then hopefully I don't have to use it again for the next few seconds. Now, if I hit space break, notice it also uses boost. I don't think I have that actually set. I think that's a bug right now. Now if you hit S for reverse thrust, oh, now they're scanning me.
I have been authorized to scan your vehicle for security.
Great.
Please hold your vehicle and stand by.
So while he's scanning me, by hitting S and reversing your thrust, you will slow down. But using your speed brake, you should be able to use your retro thrusters without actually using boost, in my opinion.
You're free to go.
Using boost is almost like an afterburner type function, and I don't know. I guess they're counting it as a maneuvering thruster at this point, and that's fine. I can get used to that. So what else? I think that's about it for the HUDs. Let me get into the ballistics here. Now, when you have a modern aircraft, right? And I'm going to say this because I used to work on them, right? I used to work on the F-18 Charlie. It's a legacy version of the F-18 Hornet. A lot of them have already been retired for the Super Hornets. So your gun, right? This is my ballistic gun up here. When you install a gun into an F-18, it comes with, it's a 20 millimeter Vulcan cannon Gatling gun, just a lot like this gun, right? But kind of bigger actually, because it carries its own magazine. It's built in to the gun. It's in a modular type of thing, right? So the gun is its own thing. The belt feed mechanism and the drum that holds the ammo is a separate thing, but it's made to fit inside an F-18, right? Making the ability to swap out the gun from one airplane to the other a simple process, but it only fits into an F-18. It holds, the F-18 Charlie holds 578, I think, rounds of ammunition. That's because that's the maximum size. They could build the drum and weight and balance issues and all the other stuff because it sits in the nose of the plane, right? That's fine. The exact same gun, the M61, the 20 millimeter Vulcan cannon by General Dynamics, it's used in the close-in weapon systems on many of the U.S. Navy ships, which is also called CWIS or the Phalanx system. It's the exact same gun, right? It'd be like having a Revenant on a automated tracking platform. Now, those guns can hold, not the guns, but the magazines that feed the guns can hold 1,500 rounds of the same ammunition because it's the same caliber. That's 20 millimeters. It's the same cartridge type. It's the same ammo, right? But the place, because it's stored on a ship versus an aircraft nose, it's able to hold more ammunition because it's built around that. So my question is here with CIG, what they have been doing is they have been upping the damage on these ballistic Gatling guns, but they have been lowering the ammunition. So this ship, a Super Hornet, carries less ammunition in it, right, than an F-18 Hornet in 2021. 578 rounds in a Hornet versus a video game Hornet that holds 225 here on a size 4 gun. This gun is so big, it should have more ammo to begin with. Now, I could sort of get with that if the Revenant here on the Hornet, because it is a fighter, even though it's a medium fighter, it's still a fighter. It's a small platform. When you look at this platform, where is the ammo going to go, right? There's not a ton of room, even though there is room. There is room up there to put ammo or something. There is room to put ammo somewhere, I guess, because there's 225 rounds in there. I hope you guys understand kind of what I'm getting at here. If this same gun is on a Constellation or a Valkyrie or something else that's a bigger airframe, then it should be able to have more ammunition. And I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at with these gripes here. If the size of the ammunition, the amount of ammunition for the weapon should not be dependent on the size of the weapon. It should be dependent on the size of the platform that it's mounted to. So if it's on a bigger platform, like whether it's on a Kraken or a Carrack or a Hammerhead, which has tons of room, I love to put, on all the 7 turrets on a Hammerhead, I like to stack them with 4 Revenants each turret. But it's not going to be any good if it only has 225 bullets. Yeah, it'll be really high damage for a couple things. So I feel like CIG is forcing us into laser gameplay. Not lasers, but energy weapons, because they recharge. The ballistic ammo doesn't. You have to actually go refill it like you would missiles. Which brings me to a whole other point. Missiles on this ship. I don't even see them right now. There is missiles on this ship, and where do you store the extra missiles? Right? Look how small those wings are. Do you think size 2s or size 3s could be stored internally in there? No. Where are the extra missiles being stored? Are they on the bottom? No. Are they in the rear fuselage behind the co-pilot? No, that's where the hydrogen intakes actually feed into the engine mechanically. There's no other place. So missiles are magically moved into position on the aircraft. I'm not sure if that's okay with everybody. Why can't bullets and a magazine be the same way? It's a video game after all, and we're doing make believe, but we're trying to make it as accurate as possible. So I'm going to end my rant on that. We're going to actually go get into a little bit of combat here in just a second, and we'll show you how the energy weapons work and some of the tactics I use and the ballistics and check the damage on that. And so just stay tuned, and we'll be right back with that coverage. All right, so we have went ahead and refueled at Everest Harbor, set our spawn here. We are going to take off. And I moved everything to thruster because I was just flying around. I didn't see any threats. So I'm going to reset, give one bump each to shields and to energy weapons. Get my speed up a little bit higher to move around. There we go. Before we start a mission here, I did want to talk about one more thing here. So regarding ballistics, I know I can't stop ranting, but here we go, guys. So there's two shows I really like. Well, one of them is not a show, but one of them is a show that's on TV. It's called The Expanse. I'm sure you guys have watched it numerous times. So in The Expanse, it's a show of the not too distant future. Like, it could be plausible. It uses real things like flip and burns, and they use ballistic ammunition. They don't have lasers like that in the future. Not really for ships anyway. But so they're on this Martian warship, and what's on the ship is what they call, I think they call it PDCs, but they're a ballistic cannon type thing, and it works very much like a Sea Whiz would. They track everything via radar or whatever scanning method they use, and then when they fire, they fire those volleys. And it's not only meant to take down missiles and torpedoes and things like that, it's also meant to damage other ships, because I don't think they have shields or anything like that in the future. They just have strong armor. That is a real concept, and it works, right? I mean, I know armor's not in the game yet, but right now they're dealing with shields and hit point pools and stuff like that. And I get that, but hey, in this show, these things have a lot of ammunition. We're talking something the size of, I don't know, maybe 2 times the size of a Connie, maybe like a Carrack-sized type of vessel, and it's able to use those weapons, maybe like a Perseus or something, but without the forward firing so much guns. So that stuff, that's a really good example of things we can do here. The other point I wanted to mention was I play Mass Effect, and I love that game. And what Mass Effect does is, when you go faster than light travel, they use wormhole technology, basically, and these things called Mass Effect relays. Well, when you get up to one, it's aligned with a different one, and it basically, for layman's terms, it creates a wormhole from one point to the other, and you're able to travel across the relays. And that's a really cool way to do the travel. And they have kind of miniaturized that technology and put it into the guns. And the guns actually use a small form of a Mass Effect relay in there, and it sends out a very small, very, very small projectile against the target. And it's a great concept because the need for ammunition is effectively gone, but instead it builds up heat. And after, you can only do so many shots before your gun gets too hot, and you either have to wait for it to cool down, or you have to replace the heat dissipator mechanism or something like that, which I know essentially becomes ammo. But if we were to have something like that, I mean, in Star Citizen, it's 900 years in the future. We have energy weapons. We have very good engines and quantum technology where we can bend space. We have lasers, right? But we still have limitations on our Gatling guns, which have not evolved in 900 years. Gatling gun technology has effectively devolved. So it just, I would like more endurance than the 225 bullets my Revenants provides. Granted, I could shoot it less, right? I know that. I could use the very powerful weapon less, but there's something about it. You're CIG, you're basically forcing us to use more energy weapons, even if we want a ballistic loadout. Maybe I'm just not a fan of energy weapons. You are forcing me to play a certain way by nerfing half of your guns. And by nerf, I mean limiting the ammo to such restrictions. I mean, he gets a Gatling gun that has 225 bullets. Come on. That's not a Gatling gun. An F-18 Hornet in 2021 has more bullets. There's all kinds of different ways in lore you could explain having more bullets, and I would like to see that happen. I would rather the damage go down and the bullets kind of have what we did before. They were able to penetrate through shields better, but they did less damage overall. I thought that mechanic was fine, but I did think we needed some kind of mechanic on lasers or on energy weapons to reduce their infinite effectiveness, if that makes sense. And I thought we were going to do it through components, but alas, we are not. So let's go ahead and let's do a combat here. Oh, geez. I forgot they reset the patch, or they did a database reset. So I guess let's hope we can get this guy's here at Hurston. I guess we'll see. Hopefully. Where are you at? Yes, it's at Hurston. Thank goodness. Okay. Another annoying bug with 3.14 is the quantum here. As soon as I'm done quantuming, my quantum will remain up. I'm not sure why in 2 weeks, Evocati 4 weeks, and all these packs have, this is what, 4th patch in PTU. This hasn't been fixed so far. This is an incredibly annoying bug because you cannot use the quantum that stays up. You see how it's spooling and everything right now? I didn't hit B again. It just did it by itself. It should be turning off. Let's see if we can actually use the calibration here. I wasn't able to use it earlier. Hit B. It did work. Okay, that's kind of nice to have that on the run, but I want it to turn off. I want to control when I see this. So I had another bug, and I've had this since it started. And I'm going to get out of speed right now, right? I'm going to lower my boost. Missile operator mode, guys. I want to go over this while our target's out there. Now, I'm going to just use mouse and keyboard for this fight, but when I hit the middle mouse button, like I would fire a missile before, I'm going to go ahead and hit it. And look, I have 4 task force 1 missiles. I specifically put size 1 missiles on this ship because I am currently having a bug in the other patches where I can only fire like 1 size 1 missile and the rest of them won't fire, but the other sizes will fire. What else do I have on here? I have 1 size 3 arrestor 3. So if you look at missile operator mode, it's over here on the left. Now I should be able to right now dumbfire my missile by, now you don't hit it by holding the mouse button anymore because that's broken apparently. Let's try it. It did not work, even though it should work. You have to hit like the left, your main trigger. So I'm going to hit my left mouse button. That did fire. And it's going after nothing, right? Let's see if my missiles actually are on my ship. Where are my missiles? Are they in a different spot on the Hornet? I don't think so. So I don't actually have physicalized missiles out here. Awesome. Another bug. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go in with these 3 size 1 missiles. If I hit my right mouse button, nothing happens. But if I hit my left mouse button, I should be able to dumbfire another missile. Let's try it. That worked like it should. What I was having before is I was locking onto the target and hitting fire with size 1s and nothing was happening. But I had fired the first couple already and it just, it wouldn't work after that. So Let's try it here. Now you're going to see I'm still in missile operator mode, and you can tell because this comes up instead of my other weapons, right? If I click missile, like I'm going to fire missile, old school middle mouse button, my guns come back up, right? And then they start to recharge. And I click it again, I go back into missile operator mode. You're going to see as we get close to the target, hopefully he spawned in by now, that there's going to be a lock bar forming around him, and it's kind of a green circle. See, he's already seen me because I have a radar lock on the top of my screen. There he is. You see how the green just formed? I'm going to hit left mouse button. I'm going to go back into missile operator mode. I'm at 6 kilometers. I guess that's within range. And it did fire. That is a very good thing. I did hit him. I'm gonna hit G. And you can barely see that there's 2 up here. Yeah, he's mad. I'm gonna shoot again. There's incoming missile. Those missiles, they will follow you. Okay, so I'm out of those missiles. I'm gonna hit my button to cycle missiles. I had to set that up myself, by the way. See, I have my shields. He was hitting my shields. I didn't really get much feedback. What is that white light? So now I have my arrestor 3 up. I am not in range. They are taking down my shields pretty heavy. I'm going to try to get some range because I want to shoot him with this missile. Okay, lock on him. Fire. Oh, it fired. I have another inbound missile on me. That had to be a flare or something. See, my shields are done. Okay. They're probably doing actual damage to my ship. What is up with that bright white light? I don't know. Okay. Let's get closer. Now I'm shooting my energy weapons at him, trying to hit the pip. I can't see where his ship is at. I'm going to shoot my Revenant at him. And granted, this is just an Aurora, guys. His shields actually should have been a little bit reduced because he's in a smaller fighter. And the CIG's goal here, there he goes. He's gone. CIG's goal here was to make dogfights last longer. And I'm all for that. I wish the community would have been more involved in this decision. So let me get his trailer here. Phil Dunphy, who's in another Aurora LN. I'm going to use my ballistics. Let's see how bad his ship is damaged. Yeah, his shields are down. He's damaged pretty well. Let's see how fast I get out of bullets in one encounter. Now he's gone. And there you go. I'm down to 49 out of 225 bullets. And my screens are all red. Am I like super damaged? I don't see any real damage on the Hornet at all. I was able to get all my missiles off this time, thank goodness. Maybe it's because I'm on a European server. I have no idea. I think these light up red kind of when the missile warning comes on. And why that is still there, I don't know. That's been a bug for like a year. Anyway, back into missile operator mode. You can see scrolling up and down, back and forth, what the next missile loadout will be. And then you can barely see it, but I have 3 selected here. If I hit G, it puts 4 on there, right? If I hit G again, it resets. So if I hit G, it cycles forward with how many missiles I can fire at once. That doesn't mean you can fire them all at once. It just means how many you're going to spool up. So if I hit G again and I get 4 and I hit Alt G, oh, it resets at Alt G. Is it Control G? That makes it go down 1. Hold on. Tricky fingers. Let's hit Control G. No, that makes it go forward 1. Alt G. No, it just resets it. Maybe it's Shift G. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, G, the G key for gimbals while you're in missile operator mode cycles how many missiles you can spool up at once, right? And then I have a custom key on my mouse to cycle through the missiles. And then I just hit the middle mouse button to switch back into gun mode. So that is the basics of the new HUD missile operator mode. Using the energy weapons, using the ballistic repeater, using the new capacitor system, seeing how fast my shields went down. You saw like one missile hit, I was like no shields. And I have a FR-66 and a Palisade on here, and they recharged pretty darn quick. Let's see how fast. I'm going to turn shields off. Let's see how fast we get to a full charge. Back on. So it's going pretty quick for those type of components. We're also in a bubble shield, right? So I don't have shield facings anymore, even though there's 4 shield facings on there. They should all be the same shield. So I would like for CIG to update that. Down here, I would like to see just one shield face. Like your shields are 100%. I'd also like to see that on the HUD somewhere. That would be nice. Maybe up here, like shields, X%. There's a lot of little things that I think we can add to the HUDs. And I know it's the first iteration and these are general shields, or I'm sorry, general HUDs. And we have manufacturer specific HUDs coming out. I understand that. I don't know. I think they could have done a better job to start with. Guys, what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know your opinions, your thoughts. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it just needs time to gel? Do you like the changes? Notice I haven't done anything with Orison. Jawa's gonna do that. I've been to the hospital in New Babies. You can't do much there other than push around trolleys and stuff and gurneys. This is for, besides Orison Landing Zone, which doesn't really have much there. It's very, very beautiful, but there just still isn't a whole lot there. This is the patch. This is what we've been waiting essentially 4 months for. And don't get me wrong, I love this game, but I think I have the right to be mad about the development, and I don't think there's been enough done. What do you guys think? Has there been enough done? Oh, something else I can show you here now. Let me line up Crew L4. You can't hit I to stop your quantum anymore. Watch. Here we go. We started quantum on it. It's 26 million kilometers away. I'm going to hit I. Engines off. We're still in quantum. I'm going to turn them back on. We're back on. You have to hold down B. And now you're out of quantum. So that's something new. I think that's the way, I believe that's the way it used to be. And I'm fine with it. I'm not mad or anything about it, but it is different. So used to hit an I and instantly you're out of quantum, which is, I think, what should happen. You turn your engine off, obviously you can't quantum anymore. I guess it's weird to me how they do patches, and I know they break a lot of stuff. They're making new tech, they're doing new things. But at the same time, things change, and I just want to know that. I don't think that's too much to ask. I want to know if, you know, how things changed. I want to know when you roll out a patch, I would like a more comprehensive list of patch notes, right? I want to know that the coupled key changed. Why wasn't that in there? I don't understand little things like that. That's all it is. Why? Oh, I think this is a bug where you have to actually turn on your quantum, then set your route. Are we going to have a 30K? What's going on? Why can't I see Everest Harbor? I see a person. Okay. Also, the new thing, the star map always zooms out. Okay, I'm going to clear route. I'm going to set route. Why is there not a marker on my HUD to where Everest Harbor is? This happened before. And I couldn't, like, it was such a pain in the butt. I couldn't find Everest Harbor. And I ended up just self-destructing. That's a bug that's got to go away. I don't know who that person is. Oh, something else that's new. We talked about scanning before. You got to hit the V key and then target that guy. I can't target him in that. Okay, let me target him now. It's Madoc. Dang, I missed it. Well, we'll try to scan something else if we can. Okay, where's Everest Harbor at, guys? I don't want to... You're making me look like an idiot on YouTube. Not that that's hard to do. Let's try this. Let's go to OM2. I feel like I just went through the atmosphere of Hurston as well. Okay, so here's Hurston. Where is Everest Harbor? Have to hit OM4 first, huh? Clear the route. Like, do we even see Everest Harbor? We see Lorville out here. And it should be directly up from Lorville. I don't see it through the planet, I guess is my problem. This has been a bug throughout my PTU experience here. One good thing, I guess, with I should be going to OM4. Right? All right, let's pick up OM4. One good thing is they have made Orison a lot better to get down to as far as frames go. Yep, I still don't have a marker for Everest Harbor. So, okay, I'm going to look up. Orison is much easier to get to now. If you turn your volumetric cloud settings to medium, I don't have Everest Harbor at all. It should be somewhere in this neighborhood. I don't see it at all. If you set them to medium, you'll get like a 10 FPS boost over high or very high. That's a really, really significant change. From when we first came in, you were forced into high. I guess I'm just going to go to Lorville, but I think I'll just go ahead and end the video, actually. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I don't normally do this, but I felt like it was necessary. I do have a thread on Spectrum if you want to follow this. It's called Ammo Capacity. Look it up under my name. If you want to contribute to the discussion, please comments below, like, subscribe to the video. I just had to get this off my chest. Let me know what you guys think about the new system for ballistic ammunition, increased damage for ballistics, energy weapon, basically ammunition recharge, the new HUD, the capacitor system, the new bubble shields, the new missile operator mode, Orison, anything you want to talk about 3.14, I'm up for it. I appreciate you guys listening to me rant, and I guess that's about it. So maybe I'm a little salty, but I guess I expected something different. So this is Fist-25 signing off, and remember, if the fist don't get you, the lightning bolt will.